I don't usually tell people to share my video. I like people doing that on their own accord. After watching my video and you feel that it's good enough to share, you go ahead and share. But you see this particular video, I plead that after watching this video, you should share it because it's actually a confirmation of what we have been saying over the years, what I've been screaming and shouting over the years. I told you guys that Christianity did not spread through love. Christianity actually spread through murder, bloodshed, violence, lies, and propaganda. According to the lies and the propaganda that we still spread and promote up to today as conquered slaves, we were told that Mary Slessor was the one that stopped the killing of twins, because a lot of people will come under my comment section and say that I should shut up, that if not for Christianity, my ancestors will still be killing twins by now. Now, according to their lies, Mary Slessor came to Nigeria in 1876. That was in 1800. But let me show you what these people were doing in 1942. That is like more than 70 years later. I saw this news a few days ago, but I've been so busy with this ongoing war. Yeah, I know that so many of you are angry and you're crying because of it, but I can't stop. This is not coming from Ikoro News or Papando TV because, you know, due to this, our low self-esteem and inferiority complex, anything that is not coming from the West is a lie. It's actually coming from Sky News. All of us knows Sky News. So here he said, dig for remains of 800 infants at former mother and baby home in Ireland begins. The remains of almost 800 babies and children are believed to be buried under a former mother and baby home in Tuam, with many believed to have been dumped into a sewage tank that was dubbed the pit. Now, before you start asking, like, what is the relationship between mother and baby and the church? Let's read further. Here he said it exposed the dark underbelly of a mid-century island heavily swayed by Catholicism and its cruel attitude towards illegitimate children and the woman who bore them, often sent to mother and baby homes before being separated from their offspring. A decade later, a team of investigators led by Daniel McSweeney is embarking on a forensic excavation that could last for 2 years. The goal is to identify as many of the remains as possible through DNA testing and to give all a dignified burial. To explain further, is a glimmer of hope for people like Annette McKay, who now lives in Manchester. Her mother, Maggie O'Connor, gave birth to a baby girl in the Tuan home in 1942 after being raped at 17. The girl, named Mary Margaret, died 6 months later. Annette remembers her late mother, recalling how she was pegging, washing out, and a nun came up behind her and said, "The child of your sin is dead." Annette now hopes her infant sister remains can be exhumed at Tuam and laid to rest with Margaret O'Connor, reuniting with her child. Now to explain further. For Annette, now 71, Tuam is emblematic a different time in Ireland. We locked up victims of rape, we locked up victims of incest, we locked up victims of violence, we put them in laundries, we took their children, and we just landed them over to the church to do what they wanted, she said. My mother worked heavily pregnant, cleaning floors, and a nun, a Catholic nun, passing, kicked my mother in the stomach. That is a pregnant woman. And when the place is open, their dirty, ugly secret isn't secret anymore. It's out there, and we need to know from that dirty, ugly place what happened there. So first and foremost, we want answers to that place. Now, this is what happened. The mother and baby is like orphanage home. You know, these orphanages that are scattered all over the place is actually set up by the Catholic Church, right? Christianity. Okay, so mother and baby happens to be an orphanage home where the illegitimate children, let's say that somebody have a child outside wedlock or maybe they raped, then the Catholic Church will now take the child after the woman gave birth. If the woman did not die due to their harsh treatment, if she finally gave birth, they will now carry the child and give to this mother and child orphanage. The mother and child will now, at the end of the day, carry the child and go and put them in a sewage. Close to 800 children. You can read it on your own. It's on Sky News. You know, so many times my people will still come and tell me that I should be grateful. That is because of these people that I'm speaking English. I can read and write. Have you seen Chinese letter before? Do you see Arabic letter before? Do you know that when I was still a kid, we will go to the village and on these mud houses, you will see inscription. You will see later a message. It's called in CBD. That was the letter of our ancestors, if not for slavery and colonialism. We as Africans would have had our own unique letters and our own unique language. Do you think I'm happy that as a black woman, I am speaking the language of my slave masters? Why other people that are very free, like the Chinese, their Mandarin letter is so unique. The Arabic letter is so unique. The inscription is so unique. And that is the kind of letters and inscriptions that we would have had as Africans. But then they took us in chains. I have told you guys so many times that the missionaries were also the slave merchants. And so many times when we show you the roles that the Catholic Church and the Anglican Church played during slavery, you say, it's a fake news, it's propaganda, where did you get this from? That's lies. Because you hate yourself. People don't want that. Low self-esteem and inferiority complex. We have to stop promoting nonsense in 2025. You need to start telling your children the truth. My kids will go to school and come back and tell me something that they learned from school. And I will tell them that it's nonsense, that it never happened. Unfortunately, we don't have our own educational system, but there are some lies that we should not continue to be spreading. There are some lies and propaganda we should not continue to be promoting in this era. Know that Christianity is rooted in blood. Christianity was spread by violence. If you're a Christian, there is no difference between you and Dibia Jimada Wowo. There's no difference because your religion was rooted in human blood. Yes, you can go and read it yourself. Now, if this thing happened in 1942, just take a minute and imagine what happened prior. What happened in the 1800s? What happened in the 1700s? What happened in the 1600s? Meanwhile, they are the ones that are calling us savages. They are telling us that it's because of them that we are educated. It's because of them that we become civilized. How civilized are we in 2025? Think or sink?